have been a fairly monogamous knitter. What? Who am I? What's going on? And I really have only knit one project. Hello, my name is Michelle, and this is Michelle's Fiber Studio podcast. Today is Monday, November 17th, and this is episode number 70. It is a cold day today in the high 30s. I had to do dismissal duty at the end of the day, and oh my goodness, it was brutal. It's the wind. The wind is really what has been the kicker these days. Let's see, I know it's only been 5 days since the last time I podcasted, so I don't have a ton to tell you about, but today is going to end up being the best day this week for me to record, so I figured I would go ahead and do it even though it's been a little shorter of a window. Before I do though, let me talk about what I am wearing. I have two different knit items on. I will try to stand up here. I have on, of course now the sun is going to peek out. I have on my Risen cardigan. It is a cardigan that I knit back in, I started in August of 2017. I didn't complete it until October of 2018. It is a pattern by Melanie Berg, and I knit it out of Knit Picks Hawthorne Tonal in Klamath Falls. It has these fun cables on the sleeve that I really like. I really like the, I don't know how well it's gonna show up in this lighting, but along the edge here, the way that that is designed. Unfortunately, what I am realizing is I really did make it too small. I have gone and run the gamut in my sweater knitting over the years. There was a window of time where I really was making my sweaters too big, and I recognized that, and I wanted things that were a little on the smaller side, not smaller, like a little closer fit. It's probably the best way to put it. Anyway, but I think I swung a little too far in the other direction. Now I am back and kind of really enjoying and appreciating things that are not as big as probably I was knitting things originally, but definitely not as small either. And this one is definitely on the smaller side. It doesn't come all the way around, and the sleeves are definitely snug. It was a little hard to get it on. So I'm really not sure. I think I don't pull it out a whole lot, and I think that's the reason, if I'm being very honest with myself. So this one I might let this one go. I have a friend in mind whom I could offer it actually to her daughter. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sad in a way because I like the sweater. I like the pattern. I'm not liking the fit. So I definitely want a navy blue cardigan though, something that I can wear to school. Navy blue is a color that I wear a fair amount, and I don't grab it because it doesn't fit well. So I think I need to keep my eyes out for sweaters quantity in a navy blue so I can either re-knit the same pattern. Actually, in truth be told, I like the pattern, so maybe I will just re-knit it in a different yarn, in a bigger size. I don't know, we'll see. It's not high in the priority list though, because I have lots of sweater quantities of yarns that are on the docket. But if I do see a sweaters quantity, I may pick that up. So anyway, that's the sweater, and then I am wearing my cowl here. I affectionately call it my UMaine cowl because it is knit in the UMaine colorway. The cowl itself, the pattern is Copilot by Dominque Trad. The yarn is Biscotti Yarns Bis Sock in UMaine. And we went up to Orono, and I will talk more about this in my day-to-day section, but we went up on Saturday and spent the day with my son. It was his senior game. So in honor of my son, I was wearing my UMaine cowl today in those colors. This I knit originally back in June of 2023. So let's see, he graduated in 2022. So he would have been getting ready to enter his sophomore year. And I finished it in August, the beginning of August, so just in time for his second marching band season. And it is the first of 5 that I knit in this pattern. There was a year where I knit cowls for all of my nieces for Christmas, and this Copilot was the pattern of choice. I did one or two. I started in like February, and I knit a couple, and then I knit this one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a great pattern. It is super easy. It was very memorizable. It was one that I could just pick up and go with it, and it was fantastic travel knitting. So I knit a total of 5 of them over the span of 6 months or so, something like that. So at any rate, that is what I am wearing. So without further ado, let's jump into the next section. All right, I have been a fairly monogamous knitter. What? Who am I? What's going on? And I really have only knit one project for the, well, it's only been 5 days, right? We did go over that. So, but that's just kind of where things are at. I have almost exclusively worked on my Bahama Advent wrap. So let me show you the progress that I have gotten done since last Wednesday when I recorded. Of course, I was sick too, so that probably, you know, encouraged me to get a bunch done. But where is my, oh my goodness, my yarn here is all tangled up. Okay, so I was here and I got this much done. So I got 3 more colors, I believe, done in the last 5 days. I am averaging 1 color approximately every, like, 1.2 days. Like, it's not quite as good as at 1 color a day. It's also not every single day that I'm doing a full color. So in 5 days, I did 3 colors. That sounds about right. So I would do 4 or 5 colors in a week. I believe I just finished color number 15. I'm pretty sure that's, oh, I don't want to pull my loop out. Make it nice and big. Do I have it in my notes? Yes, I just started color number 16, finished color 15. So it is working out really, really great. I'm really liking this. And it's been, I don't know, it's kind of potato chippy, and it's just what I've been wanting to work on. So I am rolling with it. Absolutely rolling with it. You have to strike where the iron is hot, right? And this is a project I started way back in May. I do want to get it done and off the needles, so there's probably some of that urgency, if you will, but it's what's appealing to me too. I'm actually having a really great time with it. I've got a really good rhythm that is going with it. So I'm actually feeling really good about the possibility of me completing this before the end of November, which kind of was my stretch goal. I think there is a very distinct possibility that that happens. I have a full 2 weeks basically, and I think I can do it. So yeah, we'll see next week when I record. And I don't know, I might wait and record next Wednesday because I'll have the day off, the day before Thanksgiving. So we'll see if I end up recording on Monday or if I wait and record on Wednesday. So, but either way, I'll have a full week before I podcast again. So we'll see where that lands. Yeah, so that's the shawl. Let me show you the socks that I also have been working on. So technically I'm not working on one project, right? Because I am doing the socks. It's the same yarn though. And I'm going to show you this one because this is the one that is the most caught up. But last time I had just turned the heel. So I have now added in 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. The second sock, I was adding 3 colors yesterday trying to get caught up on the socks. And my second sock, I still have to do this this last color here. I've joined it in, but that's as far as I've gotten. And I am really pleased. I probably should try them on, which I could totally do at this point because, see, I got my foot and my heel, and I got just enough that I could probably try them on and make sure that they fit good. That's probably what I should do because I am trying this OMG heel, which I typically do from the top down, but it's the first time I try it from the toe up. So I should do that. Maybe when we're done, I will pull my socks and shoes off and give it a whirl. Oh, I forgot to tell you last time, when I added in my heel, I decided to do it in a separate color. See if I can get a good catch of this. But this is yarn that I had used. My Homespun Girls yarn, Maine Summer Sock in Kelp. And this was the mustard color that I got and I used in my Stephen West shawl last fall. So I had a little bit of that left over, and I think it blends in where these colors are really, really nicely. I'm gonna wait and decide. I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna work all of the colors and then do my cuff. I don't think I'm gonna work the colors into the cuff. I'm pretty sure that's what I'll do. In which case I will need another color for the cuff, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm gonna wait and see how the whole sock looks. It's gonna be in the blues, so I have plenty of blue scraps. I might pull out a blue scrap. I had also pulled out the brown, oh, it's over there, but my, oh gosh, what was the name of that blanket that I did with my Christmas, my Grinch Advent last year? Yorkshire blanket. The brown that I got, that I joined and did the border with, I have a bunch of that left over, and I was considering actually using that brown in my heel. I could potentially use that in the cuff too. So I haven't fully decided, but that's okay. I also want to show you, I have been joining all of my leftovers. I have, I don't know, maybe a couple of grams left over. So I have been joining them into one big magic knot ball. And my plan is, as soon as I'm done, I'm actually pretty excited. I don't think I have any down here, but I have a hexie blanket project, scrappy hexie blanket project that I started before I started podcasting. So like 3 years ago probably. And I got, not quite half, a third or so through creating the hexies, and I got distracted. No big deal. It was one of those kind of pick away at it. But my plan is to take this magic knot ball, and I'm holding those hexies double with gray and crochet these into hexies. Just keep rolling them right through into hexies. And I'm actually pretty excited to do that as soon as I'm done with this project. So that is those two Beauty and the Beast projects. And then the last project is my Musselburgh, which I did do a little bit more on. I believe I had not quite finished the increases the last time. I don't remember. Maybe I haven't worked on this. Well, if we go by where my marker is, I've done exactly 4 rows. So, I don't know. It's possible. I'm trying to think when I would have pulled it out. I truly don't remember. I truly don't remember. Did I have a meeting that I maybe pulled it out? I know I had a Zoom meeting on Thursday night, but I remember working on the Bahama Advent wrap. So anyway, that's where this project is at. And my West Knit shawl is just kind of sitting in, I don't want to quite call it hibernation. It's just sitting and patiently waiting its turn. How's that? Because right now, the Bahama Advent wrap is what I want to work on. Alright, this is going to be another short and sweet podcast, and especially given that it's only been 5 days, and I was still quite sick last week. So when I last recorded, it was Wednesday. I had come home early from work. Because I had a training and I was fighting a nasty cold, and that nasty cold continued to kick my butt. I got up the next morning and thought that I felt better, and so I went to work, and by 10:30 I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. And I came home, and Friday I did go into work and I did make it all day long. Came home, I thought I was gonna take a nap. But I couldn't really sleep, and I got a second wind anyway, and then, which was good because I had to go back to school for 6 o'clock. We had a school dance, but I was doing a presentation on vaping for parents that I had been preparing for. I had it in my mind that I wanted to do this presentation last spring. And then I created the presentation. I started it in June and then I finished it up in September. And so I've been really planning for this for like 6 months. I'm like, I'm the one who was planning for it. So I dug deep and I went and did it. It was only about a half an hour presentation. I actually only had 4 parents. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping for more, but the 4 parents who were there were great. They were very attentive, asked really good questions. And considering I'd never done the presentation, I suppose it was a good run through, right? I can always offer it again in the spring and we can try again and see if we can get a few more parents to come in. So yeah, and then I came home and went to bed because I was pretty tired at that point. And then on Saturday, we drove up to Orono and we spent the day with my son. It was awesome. It was fun. I didn't cry. I'm very proud of myself. But he was recognized as a senior in the marching band, and at one point they flashed his picture up in the Jumbotron. I'll put a picture in here right now of that. So they had recognized the senior football players and the senior cheerleaders before the game. They actually recognized the senior marching band members before the game as well, but they did it like kind of during the pregame. And so during halftime, when they were doing the halftime show, they actually cycled through their photos like the whole time. There was 15 or 16 seniors, I can't remember. And so like, I don't know, 8 or 9 times his picture circled. That was kind of cool. It was very cold. I will say that. It was 40 or so. Not as windy as it was 2 weeks ago when we went, but it was still pretty cold. And it was my feet that really, I had taken the hot hands and I had one in each of my fingerless gloves and I ended up putting one in each of my shoes. And unfortunately, hot hands, they kind of need that activation, right? They need the air and they need, like when we were clapping, the ones in my gloves would get activated and they get wicked hot. And I would try to stomp my feet to activate the ones in my shoes, but they just unfortunately weren't really cutting the mustard. So it was cold, but it was so worth it and such a great day. And my mother came with us, and then my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law joined us, and we all watched the game together. They lost, unfortunately. They have been doing so well, and they were trounced. Like, it was not pretty. But then afterwards, we all went to dinner together, and my son has been kind of being mentored in the faith by an older man and his wife up there, so they joined us for dinner as well. So we were a party of 8, and it was just great. It was so much fun. And then of course he needed to go to Walmart and restock. Yeah, so we did that before we drove home. And then Sunday after church, we ran quick, did groceries, and then just chilled. It was a good rest of the day yesterday. And that brings me to today. So I'm feeling much better. I did pretty good on Saturday as far as my cold goes. Blew my nose a few times. I'm still kind of blowing my nose, but my energy is definitely better. My throat's a little bit scratchy, but it's like that postnasal drip kind of irritation. And as I've talked all day today, it's been a little irritated, but my energy is decent. I would say I'm like 95%. So we're getting there. So I think that covers everything. So thank you so very much for stopping by and listening to my little corner of YouTube. We'll have links down below in the show notes for everything that I have talked about. If you enjoyed this podcast, please do hit the like button and subscribe and talk to me too. I love hearing from you in the comments. And of course, that is an easy way for you to help boost the popularity of this when the YouTube algorithms see that interaction. It kind of pops up more in people's feeds. So please do talk to me. I wish you very well, and I hope you have a great week and happy knitting.